The moving book. Lila loved her grandparents' house. It was full of creaky floors, dusty attics, and best of all, a library crammed with books from floor to ceiling. But on this rainy Tuesday, even the library felt a little boring. "I've read all of these 100 times, she sighed, tracing the spine of a leather-bound book. Just as she was about to give up and draw in her notebook, something caught her eye. Tucked between a thick history book and a slim volume of poetry was a book she'd never seen before. It was plain, with a dark blue cover and no title on the spine. It was also sticking out just a tiny bit. Curiosity piqued, Lila wiggled her fingers into the gap and pulled. The book slid out with a soft shh sound. On the cover, in faint silvery letters, were the words, "Whispering Pages." As her fingers brushed against the title, the letters began to glow with a gentle, pulsing light. Lila gasped, nearly dropping the book. The light from the letters spread, covering the entire book in a silvery sheen. Then, a low rumbling sound started, vibrating through the floorboards. It wasn't thunder. It was coming from the bookshelf itself. With a loud groan of old wood, the entire section of the bookshelf where the book had been began to slide sideways. Dust clouds puffed from the floor as a dark opening was revealed in the wall. Lila stared, her heart thumping like a drum. Where the wall should have been, a shimmering curtain of light swirled and pulsed. It was the color of twilight, with flecks of gold and silver spinning within it like tiny stars. The air coming from it felt warm and smelled of old paper and something sweet, like honey and wildflowers. It was a portal. For a moment, Lila just stood there, frozen. This was impossible. This was magic. Part of her wanted to run and find her grandparents, but a bigger, more curious part of her wanted to see what was on the other side. She instinctively clutched the small notebook she always kept in her pocket. She thought of all the adventures she'd only read about in books. What if this was her chance to have a real one? Taking a deep breath to steady her nerves, she tightened her grip on her notebook. "Okay," she whispered to herself. "Just a quick look." She took one brave step forward, then another, until her foot crossed the threshold. The swirling light tickled her skin like static electricity. She squeezed her eyes shut and stepped all the way through, the glowing book held out in front of her like a shield. When she opened her eyes, the library was gone. She was standing on a path made of smooth gray stones, under a sky the color of lavender. Strange, glowing flora pulsed with soft light all around her, and the air hummed with a gentle, musical energy. The adventure had begun.